go. Oh, can't make it let me go. Hello.
Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I'm your I nearly said ho. I'm your host, Matthew Winter.
Dude.
Some technical difficulties. Ben can't get a fucking camera working again.
You bought the fucking thing.
I did. I bought the camera. I bought the cam link. I bought the cable.
Yeah.
I bought the light.
And what's not working?
All of it.
Pretty much, yep.
Welcome back to the Ennui Talk podcast. I think I already say that. Did I say that already, didn't I?
I think so. Fucking loser.
Yeah. Fucking loser. I wanted to come together because you and I, things are changing. You know that, right?
We just recorded. You literally
Yes, we did,
changed your shirt and that was it.
No, I mean, things are changing now.
Oh.
Not from when I recorded. Bit of an announcement to all the long-term listeners who have known me from working at McDonald's. I quit my job to become a full-time YouTuber. So this episode's called "We're Quitting Our Jobs to Become Full-Time YouTubers." Both of us are going to live off our very small amount of savings, and we're going to go for it, aren't we?
No, you are. I'm not.
No, you are. You fucking said like 20 minutes ago that's what we're going to do.
Well, I lied.
So I'm putting all of my life on the line bet for this.
Pretty much. But don't forget, you have like nothing. You have no dependents. Like you don't have a partner. You don't have family. You don't have
I have 2 kids, mate.
You don't have a place to live. Yeah.
No, look, the plan is, this chapter of my life is over and I'm moving on to the next chapter. Okay? So I'm moving back to...
This is why people think you're gay.
I'm not... Fuck off, cockhead. No, I'm ready to prioritize my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Look, I'm at this stage of my life, and we're gonna get deep here. I'm at the stage of my life where I was like, yep, I'm gonna work on Ennui on the side and work in a job and do well. Sorry, I just a bit of the burpees, mate.
Getting worked up.
We're getting worked up. And working at a job that I tried to put 110% into. You can't do both. I really don't think that you can put 110% into your side business and 110% into your main business. What do you think about
that? Yeah, I would believe that. I somewhat tend to agree with that.
Elaborate.
Well, I mean, it depends on like which one you're more dedicated to. I think that you had too much dedication to McDonald's. You bent over backwards for that place.
That's the thing. There was a point where I did, absolutely. And then it was at a point where it was like, I'm going to do my job and do it well. But there was just so much, how do I say it in a way that doesn't get me in trouble, even though I don't work there anymore.
We don't want to burn that bridge because you might need to go back and get your job back.
No, you're exactly right. There was too much picking up shit from other people. And that's just the nature of it, I think. Like, it was too much micromanaging, and that's what it was. It was too much like, okay, I do my job, but I have to also make sure all of these, and I was a manager, and I was a high-up manager, but it's like, it was just too much. It wasn't just delegating tasks and checking up on them. It was, you telling people that they're not doing a good job and then having to fucking nail it into them. And it just got to a point where it was like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because you're the one who's going to get Ennui going to where it's going, and I'm just literally going to bludge off you and take half the profit. But
well, that's partially right. Because it's one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately. It's like, okay, I strongly believe that this business is you and I. I don't think that this business could run. It could get to a point, but I do think that you are a key part of this business, and I do think that I can't. Not that I can't run a business by myself or grow a business, but I think you play a very important part within the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're going to say? Yeah. You're going to say thank you?
Thank you, Matt, for having such high faith in me.
Can you say that louder into the mic for me?
Thank you, Matthew Redonald Winter, for having such high faith in me.
I love you.
When it actually happens, though, I'll be a little bit more grateful.
No, but see, that's the thing. I was thinking the other day, okay, Ennui is, for the lack of a better term, my thing. I created it. I started it.
That's true. I perfected it.
You're helping. You perfected it. Fuck off. You did help. You helped a lot. You helped helped me lay a lot of groundwork for the business. And now it's at a point where I've gone through the trying things stages. We can see the stuff that we need to do to take off now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things to me is I don't want to give you too much and make you not want to do it. And I know that's sort of like, oh, well, if Ben wants to do it, if Ben wants to do it, then he'll do it. If he wanted to, he would. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, fuck, he's not getting paid for any of this.
That is true.
But at the other time, it's like, how can I make Ben, from my perspective, and this is looking into my brain, how do I make Ben put a lot on the line, put time into something that might not work? So that's me asking the question. What does motivate you, I guess?
What motivates me is like the potential that this could take off. Like just knowing that there's a possibility that one day we could do this as a full-time job is probably what motivates me the most.
And I think it can. And I think I'm at this point where it's like, I've really figured out that I don't want to be an employee. I think I really, really want to do my own thing and create the life that I want to have. And I feel like this is just from my perspective. You seem like somebody who, at the end of the day, if you had to work a job, if you really liked your job, you wouldn't care about being your own boss.
No.
And that's just different people. You can't hate somebody from like being that sort of person.
I sort of look at it as that, especially nowadays, that I'm lucky to have a job and I will do my job because it's what I have to do. Because there's so many people out here who desperately, desperately want work. And there's also a lot of people out here who don't want to work, but are getting the job and then, not performing the way they should or whatever, when that business could have hired somebody who who wants and needs a job to live, and they're not getting a turn of their own. So yeah, I'm thankful that I have a job, and I'm thankful for any job that I've ever had.
Absolutely, and I'm the same. But there came to a point where it was like, what do I need to do? Sometimes I feel like I need to take a risk of some sort. Not just, and I wouldn't fucking recommend it to any Tom, Dick or Harry, but for me personally, it was like, I think I just needed to reset and start again. Because I think it was like, I went one way and I learned a lot and I wouldn't be the same person if I didn't. But I think it's like, okay, let's focus on what I actually want to do. And it sort of leads to me, I have said to you every single year, probably every single day, Ennui's going to take off this year.
Yep.
I want to know your opinion on that statement.
I think it could. I just think we need to find our niche content. We need to find the content that we thrive in. We've tried, like the mockumentaries. We've tried documentaries. We've tried, like morning sort of table shows. Tried lots of different things, but we just can't seem to find something that we click with together. Like we click together really well and we have very complementary personalities, but I just feel like finding a source of content that works best in has been a bit of a challenge.
I think that Omni Coffee Club was our, hey, we want to be like Rhett and Link.
Yeah.
Some people have inspired us. And it was just us sitting at a table. I don't think the format that we were doing was what it is.
No.
I do think that at one point when we can, I don't think it should be the next thing that we do, but I think it's something where it's you and I sit at a desk and talk about things in a podcasty way, but not really. So it'd have to be...
We should talk about red hot topics.
Like, the Queen dead.
I was thinking more like, is Jeffrey Dahmer, that bad of a guy?
No, he's a good guy.
Who hasn't killed a few people?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think the podcast is great. I think the podcast is great for what it is. I think the best decision was making it just you and me because it's consistent for the audience. It's consistent for us. And now it actually seems fun. Do you think it feels fun now?
Well, it's written in my contract, but I have to say yes.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
No, it is getting better. I find it's getting better and better. I find though that we both seem. It might change now that you're not working. At this point in time, you're not working, and that you are moving home. But I feel like it gets to the point sometimes where we record because we need to record that we have to be able to produce the content. And most of the times we record when we both finished work, or if I finished work, or if you finished work. So one of us or both of us are always super tired and super on edge. It's been a very long day, and then we sit down, and it's very hard to try and get into that mood where it's like, okay, I need to be relaxed. I need to be, able to fuck around and joke around for this. But then you sort of sit down and you go, fuck. And then something goes wrong, like the camera doesn't work or the mic doesn't work, and it pushes and pushes. And then by the time you actually get to record, you're like, fuck this. This is the last thing I want to do now.
I agree. I very much do. I think that one thing, like for example, we're doing a double recording now.
Yeah.
We did just a random talk, a regular episode, and now we're doing one focused on a topic. I think that really does help. It's like we can get all the regular stuff out, like us just fucking around. And this time around, like I do have notes, but sometimes it's like I think we can get more out of the notes we have, and then sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think in general, like half the stuff that we talked about on episodes, we don't add, not even notes. It just comes out. And I think those are the best podcasts as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
I think the ones where we sort of get into like personal, not like super personal stuff, but personal stuff about just like between you and I, like our relationship. I think they're probably the best, well-received ones.
I agree.
Because it's just us
yeah,
talking about each other, and I feel like a lot of people, they vibe with it because like that's how they would hang out with their mates. They'd just listen to they'd just talk shit with their mates.
One thing that I've done is like obviously like clipping the content and making TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, whatever they. Yeah, exactly. TikTok ticks. There was a while there it was like I need to talk in a way where I can make a TikTok, but now it's just we do the podcast. If I find something funny, I'll clip it, and then I pick the best handful.
Like I'm sure
as many as I can, really.
I'm sure in the last episode we just recorded, you definitely clipped the thing where I said if Hitler had a six-pack, it wouldn't have been that bad.
Oh, 100%.
And I know the fact you did because I saw you reach over and hit the button.
But it's good.
Shit like that. Like it's hot topic. It's like a hot topic to talk about, but it's funny, and it was a funny joke in the moment. Obviously with that context, it sounds a bit fucked up,
but that's what makes it good as well. And I think that's what will make people go, and it's what makes me go, oh, I found this podcast on TikTok. That's what's going to actually make them want to listen. And as I've said to you before, there's going to be people who just watch the TikToks and actually don't listen to the podcast.
Care about the podcast. Yeah. They're fucking weird.
That's why I try to get that the goal is 7 clips per episode. And I'm able to get I'm at the point now that I can easily produce that. I clip it, I listen to them, I pick the best, and it's done. The only hard thing is that, like, for example, now, and even when like we do it in person, I've got to like make 2 layers for the TikTok specifically.
Yeah.
2 layers, one's focused on me, one's focused on you, and then like cutting between. But that's the only hard thing, and that doesn't really take long for a 30-second clip. Like it's nothing.
I think once we're doing it back in person, because obviously like the last 2 episodes, well, the episode we recorded in this one, I'm having technical issues with my recording equipment where my camera's not working and then the mic will cut out and all that. So it's very stressful, and it kind of just makes me feel like, fuck, is it worth it when there's all these issues that can go wrong? Obviously we find ways around it where I just don't have video footage for these couple of episodes. But when you're back in person, we don't have to worry about that stress. Like we're going to be in the same room. So if the camera's not working, we can work on it together. We can try and work it out. Or we'll have a backup camera that we can use instead, or a backup cam link, or, just and different things.
Yeah. That's the thing. I've made it all streamlined. I want it to be that we can we could be busy all day and go, yep, we're going to come over. We're going to call it at 5 o'clock. We can walk in, sit down, turn everything on and go. Because that is the most efficiency is so important to me. If we can do weekly podcasts and ideally at one point do a bi-weekly On We Talk Extra on the Patreon every other week as well. So like some weeks it's double recording, some weeks it's not. Some weeks we do 1 episode and do a meeting. Other weeks we do 2 recordings. But get to that point while we're both working full-time jobs. Imagine how much we can do when we're making enough money that we can quit our jobs for actual. It's all about efficiency and productivity to me, with as well as doing things properly.
True.
True.
I respect
That's
that.
it.
I respect that.
Yeah, you fucking should respect that, homie.
That's lame.
What do you see as, so like we've had the discussion a few times. It's like, what do you see as our next 1 year plan? And I'm going to add to that. If we wanted to go full time the next 12 months, what do you think that we need to do from your perspective? Like, I've got my ideas.
Make money. I really think the easiest and quickest way for us to be able to go full time is if we can get the shirts and we can get the clothing label off the ground. We can use the passive income from that to be able to produce more content and all that sort of stuff. Because really, it's the clothing label is more or less for me like this is a way we can get enough money and make enough money together that we can leave our jobs, go full time, but then still have a lot of spare time to, record videos, record podcasts, make content, in the background of it all. Like we're still working a job, but it's not as stressful as, the shit we're doing now. It's like we'd be working out of a warehouse. We'd have all this empty room that we can go, let's fucking make a podcast over there and, let's record a video.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
100%.
That to me is that would be like a 12-month plan that I would work.
So my biggest thing right now is, and I was thinking about it. Obviously, we want Ennui to be Ennui Limited, our clothing brand, quote unquote. And that's what it is. It's a clothing brand.
Yeah,
it's a clothing brand, a part of the Ennui company. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, is selling shirts is cool, but is it what we're best at? And I think that we need to incorporate it into our business, but I don't know if it can. I don't think we're not going to be the next Adidas or the next Nike or the next cool shirts.
Obviously, we're not going to be the next them, but we'll be a noticeable brand. Like we'd be able to, like there'd be. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a brand that it'd be like.
So when I really think about it, cool shirts. So cool shirts, you work with Max Mofo, Anything for Views, the guy from Cold Ones, How to Basic, a lot of these other Australian YouTubers. And they sell shirts, yeah. And their marketing is like a lot of like meme-based content. But like people found them from cool shirts. Yeah. From Cold Ones.
Yeah.
And I think we need to sort of incorporate that more. And obviously we've talked about wearing it in content, blah, 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 advertising it as much as we can, and making content around it on social media, TikTok specifically, and YouTube Shorts specifically. And I think that needs to be our marketing strategy. And like, I haven't had time to fucking do it myself. I just haven't. Like, I can't film it all by myself. I've had nobody here out in Mudgee to help me do it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if that's how we're going to market it, how many videos do we need to put out? We can't do fucking 7 videos a week. And there's so many fucking TikTok strategists to go, oh, you got to get out 3 videos a day, 5 days a week. It's like, that's not fucking realistic for most people.
Yeah.
It's just not. I think you got to make a good video and put it out, but do it quickly at the same time. So you're not spending does it make sense? Like you're not spending too much time on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it isn't. I agree. That's the shirts. I do agree at the same time though. Sorry, I agree at the same time. I do think at the same time though, the podcast is the podcast going on TikTok and getting that out and us wearing the merch is the biggest thing. As well as making TikToks, social content, whatever you want to call it, where we're wearing the shirts and it's based around that and around TikTok trends or other trends or whatever. Because I think that's what's going to promote the shirts. Like they'll see, oh, these guys on TikTok called Ennui are making things. They might not have anything to do with the podcast or the YouTube channel or shit like that.
Yeah.
One of my worries though, and I've been watching a few, like I've been just looking at it and watching a few videos and all that. I don't want to go, what has been the biggest problem for Ennui since I started when I was 19? Tell me.
Rushing.
Make a guess. Rushing.
Part
of it.
Yeah.
Guess what it is. Too many things at once.
Yeah.
How do we make podcasts and videos and sell shirts as our 3 primary sources without burning ourselves out?
Well, that's easy. Like the podcast we know we're going to record podcasts. We know that's a massive. That's like number one on the list. That's
100%.
That's one thing to do. The shirt thing, I would probably put number 2 at priority because that's where the money. That's where the business is actually making an income from. We don't make money off podcasts. We don't make money off videos yet. Like we don't have sponsors or anything like that. So the videos, we just need to find a line of content we want to make and stick with that. We can't go, let's do a mockumentary episode this week. Let's do like a mailbox episode next week. Let's do a fucking like a street vid the next week. Like find a fucking line of content and stick with that line of content.
And I know exactly what type of content we're going to do.
Yeah, this would be good.
Porn media.
Yeah.
Think about it. The porn industry is taking off massively recently. OnlyFans, RedTube, XXNX, all successful websites in the pornographic nature of the business. We're going to get our cut of the pie.
Shit selling points.
Disagree. I think that to sum it up in a nice little package that you can just present to anyone, Matt and Ben doing things, or Matt and somebody doing things at the very, very least. Our next video is the concept is, so when I edit it and export it, it'll be called camping. But the video is going to be called, not camping, sorry, outdoor, whatever you want to call it. The video is entitled, and this is a bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes, can drinking piss help us survive the outback? And the thumbnail will be me drinking a bottle and it looks like piss. However, it's just you and me having a little bit of a sips of the alcohol and just doing shit outside, which is basically, we've done it in a video years ago. It was Marty.
Yeah, we didn't drink
and
alcohol.
I think just correct, but it's different. And the only thing I'm trying to develop now is a bit of a story aspect to it without it being a story, because it's just us fucking around. But if we can give it a clear start, middle, and end to keep that retention and keep people watching, which is what YouTube wants, then we can go, okay, let's film. We have the basics of what we need. We can film. I can edit together. Get Cass to do a rough edit, and then I'll just put the finishing touches on it. And then we have a video for that month, or for that, if we're doing a bi-monthly sort of thing. And then when we get to the point where we're making more money from everything else, and hopefully this YouTube thing will actually, because I still see YouTube as our primary platform, and I still, the thing with that is, at the same time, I'm not so worried about putting out a video like every month or every 2 weeks or every week right now, because we still have a presence on there with the podcast. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that makes me feel better as well. But I do agree that the podcast first, get it out there. And that's where our personalities come out. And it gets us better at presentation, communication, presentation, all that sort of bullshit. And because it's on Spotify and it's on YouTube and it's on TikTok, and it's meeting different audiences, that can grow very, very much so, more than it ever did. Like when we were just putting it on YouTube as audio only, or even before that. And I think like getting the shirts out there, and I think that's what it is. We just need to make content wearing the shirts, not just wearing the shirts, but promoting the shirts and doing, like I always had the idea of doing a car wash video with me wearing this shirt and you can see my titties.
Yeah, I wouldn't click on that.
I would.
I'd actually burn my fucking eyeballs out.
You would not.
Watch me.
No, what were you going to say? You were going to say something.
Yeah, I've completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. But like with the videos, that's what I was just going to say. I just want to make funny videos and we have fun. And it's not that deep. And then it's like, as long as in the pre-production, I've gone, okay, this is our start, middle, and end. I already know what the thumbnail and the title is going to be. And that's from like the behind the scenes YouTube stuff that you do need to have. Obviously, we could just go film and then I could make something out of it. Yep. But it's good to have, you do need to succeed on YouTube these days. You need a little bit of pre-planning sort of thing. I think having a clickable title and a clickable thumbnail, it drives that average view duration. And that's what gets us views. That's what gets us recommended. And that's what will start us making us money. Absolutely. Also, YouTube, they're telling us now we can make money from YouTube Shorts. There'll be a new ad split with that. So a lot of the content that we can put on TikTok can go on YouTube Shorts as well. Starts driving the channel there and put it all on the same channel because it's you can do that now. You can do it without it like sacrificing the channel. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think that it can. I very, very, very much think it can work. I just don't want to burn each other out. Either of us. I really, really don't.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is that, like, I know this is a priority as number one, but it's very hard after you spent a full day at work dealing with all sorts of stuff to come home and then go, oh, fuck, I need to go record, or I need to sit down and review this video, or I need to, you know, just do all this other crap. It's like, fuck, it's so exhausting. If it was my full-time job, it'd be so much easier.
Oh, fuck yeah. But it's like, how do you make it easy? Like, that's the thing. We're not the first people to do this. We're just not.
No.
But it's like, at the same time, like, part of me even thinks after you said, oh, should the shirts be the second thing that our second biggest priority? And sometimes part of me is thinking, yes, definitely, because it makes the money. But part of me is thinking, no, it's like, do we need to get the community bigger first? But I don't.
I think that's where you and I differ so much. Is that you're very, no, I want the content to be the main source of everything. It's like, yeah, I do too. But I feel like we need to there's a step that we can take to make that happen by sacrificing it for maybe a year. But then we're guaranteed to have an income no matter what. We're not going to fail. Like, if it fails, we're not going to we're going to go back to jobs. We can go, we can fall back onto the shirt, like the clothing label. You know, it's just good to have a backup.
You know what? I agree. And that's the thing. I think that if we're selling the shirts and marketing strategy is, you know, short content, and even if the the YouTube stuff doesn't work out, we've built an audience with that short form content. Yeah, that's right. As well. And that actually brings me to the other thing. One thing that I really, really want to do is I was listening to Colin and Samir this morning, and they were talking about, have you heard about the whole Twitch?
Shmee my arsehole.
The shit happening with Twitch?
No.
And their revenue share. So before it was a 70-30 split. So streamers were getting 70% of the revenue.
That's heaps good.
But others were getting more. So others were getting 80. Actually, it might have been a 60-40 split or a 65-35. But some specific streamers were getting 80. But now the big thing they've done is everybody gets 50-50 now.
Oh,
so imagine your revenue getting cut by 20%.
That's fast.
Just because the platform you're on has changed their details. And that's the thing. We can't put all our eggs in one basket. We can't put all our eggs on, I think that like YouTube revenue is like probably going to be down the bottom because that's relying on another platform and the ads. I think that the shirts and the Patreon are the top two. I think the shirts is bigger, 100%, because that's direct to consumer and it's just simply market a shirt, make people want to buy it and they buy it. The Patreon's more community based. They have to like us, like the content, et cetera, et cetera. But I also think we can expand that and include like the shirt aspect and the community aspect. You might not like any of our stuff, but imagine if you were a $5 patron and you got an exclusive, we put an announcement about, we're doing this meet and greet and we're selling exclusive shirts and only our patrons know about it. A lot of people would do that. They really, really would. Like what's an example? If Yeezy, bad example. Actually, no, good example because it's Kanye West. If he had hey, join Yeezy, our $5 subscription, and you'll get exclusives like that, like, we're doing a meetup in this location this day, come for exclusive shirts. People would do it. They absolutely would do it. And I think that's one thing I want to incorporate into Ennui because obviously it's bigger than the media side. We want to grow bigger than that. What I'm trying to get to is the short form content is also something that I want to be. It's our, what do I call it? It's our catalog of short form content can become a basis of, let's go to Sony, let's go to Nike, let's go to, I don't know, any of these companies and go, hey, we can make social content. Let's do a brand deal. You give us money, we'll put out content. We'll do a series even, blah, blah, blah. And I think it could really work. I think that's something that we could do and make considerable money. I really, really, really do think, like we've talked, even from the start, the Ennui Coffee Club, us sitting at a desk, one thing we wanted to do was get local Australian coffee companies, brewers, whatever, to go, oh yeah, so this episode we're drinking this coffee from this person. And all of those companies are online anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like they will ship overseas. They don't just only focus on an Australian market.
Yeah, the only issue with that is still, I mean, depending on where the main part of our community is that some of those companies are like, yeah, we'll ship you the product to review. And then it'd be like, oh, we actually just don't ship to Australia for regular customers though. Like your Australian audience couldn't buy our product.
So I think that it'd have to be a specific sort of
because I've had that happen where I've seen like a YouTuber who's been sponsored or something. I'm like, damn, I wouldn't mind trying that. Go to it, click it. I'm like, I cannot buy this. This is not available in my country. So
that links to a bigger picture thing I was thinking about. We can't say yes to everything as well.
Yeah, try.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's like if we got to the point, every YouTuber and every creator and every business has opportunities to say yes to things. But are they like if you say yes to everything?
Yes, Daddy.
You're gonna run out of opportunities. Not run out of opportunities. You're gonna run out of space.
Yes,
and you can't take good ones.
Yeah.
If you say no enough times, it gives you a chance to say yes to the best opportunities for your growth for your business. I should do TED Talks.
That sounds very self-helpish. Who did you watch to get that information off?
Gary Vee, Tony Robbins. But like I think I even like said the idea of like, okay, Spotify. Spotify gives us money where we do a series with all these up and coming Australian musicians. It could be like a Between Two Ferns thing where I just sit there and I, talk to, I don't know, some random Australian rapper, Kid Leroy, for example. And I go, so when you turned 21, are you just the Leroy now? And everyone goes, woo. And then that's viral content. If I saw that in a video, if I saw even Zach Galifianakis doing that, interviewing the Kid Leroy, and he makes that joke, I would laugh. Would you?
Come.
I would come.
Yeah. I'd go, that doesn't make sense because in Australia, you're not considered an adult until you're 25.
Well, then what if you say 25 then? Do you want to go with that? Are you just going to ruin the joke?
But then other countries won't get it.
Well, then if we'll put it in like flashing text on the screen if you're in Australia.
Was that like in Zootopia where the news anchor is different for every country that it played in? You'd be like that, would it? It'd be like in American, you'd be like, oh, are you 21? Is it weird that like that is the thing?
It is a bit weird, I think.
Like you can make porn and do all sorts of shit in America when you're 18, but you can't have a sip of alcohol.
I don't know. I guess it's just, George Washington wrote the rules. Is that who wrote it? George Washington?
He didn't. He didn't write them.
Oh, I'm thinking of George R.R. Martin. Is that right?
I think didn't Thomas Jefferson write the Declaration of Independence?
I think so too. I think so. Or was it Alexander Hamilton?
You're a fucking idiot.
It's one of those. I don't remember. I don't know. I just want to get on with my life,
Yeah, authors Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Livingston,
that's what I said.
Roger Sherman.
That's what I said.
You did not. You said Alexander Hamilton. You just fucking said that because of the shit musical. Oh, I wouldn't call it shit. You just said it because of the musical.
It's a good musical. It's a good. I've never actually seen it at all. I've never seen a musical. I've seen The Lion King. That's about it.
You would too, cunt.
Would too. I do have a question, and it's Ennui related, but it's not really Ennui related. But it's like, how has your view on work, life, what you want out of work and life from when you were, say, 18, 19, changed from then until now?
What do I want out of it?
Yeah, like for me, it was like before. It was like I got to hustle until I get to where I want to, and then I can celebrate and build the life I want to.
I think now, from when I was 18, 19, I was like, I just want to make money. I just don't really care. Like I want to make money so I can splurge and buy shit. Whereas now, I want a job where it's like I want to be able to wake up happy, go to work happy, come home from work. Obviously tired, probably a little bit stressed, but not like I'm not sad or angry at the day. I'm not just like I just don't want to hate my job. I just want to like what I do. I want to have fun doing it.
Yeah. No, I get that. And I think that's where I'm at. I think it's like, I can do my job well. And I do know that my motivation dipped when I don't like the job. Like that's just going to happen.
Dipped.
But and it leapt and it led to the point where it's like, I don't love what I do. What's the point of me being here? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't love what I do, I've got to figure out what I want to do. Because that's the other thing. We talked about it in another episode where people just complain and complain and complain, don't do anything about it, which was me at some points. I am very self-aware of that fact. But now it's like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm not just going to stay in my job and fucking hate my life the rest of my life. And, you know, because that's what doomers do. Doomers and gloomers. You know what I'm saying? They just go, oh, fucking, I just fucking hate my life. Fucking the world's against me. The fucking government not paying me enough. And it's like, well, go out there and do something. You know what I'm doing? I'm going out there and doing something about it, Ben. And so from here on out, when I say that Ennui's going to take off this year, I mean it. Okay, that's all I get.
Is that a statement? Are you going to scribe that into rock?
Yeah, I'm actually going to get a tattoo on my arm right here that says, my YouTube channel is going to take off, and I'll put a date on it and a time. And when I say a date and a time, I don't mean a date of time when I said it. I mean a date and a time of like, if it doesn't work by this date and time, that's my suicide sound.
You should do it.
Oh, that's a clip. That's a clip if I've ever seen one, mate. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
I've actually got, that's the other thing I was thinking about as well. I'll start off with, do your parents hate their jobs or do they like their jobs?
I wouldn't say they hate them. My dad definitely doesn't like having to work, but that's because he's worked so long and in the same sort of way for so many years. He's just tired. He just doesn't want to. He wants to semi-retire and relax. You know, they get to that age. I think my mum finds the job to be quite stressful. I think that's probably the worst thing for her. But they don't hate. I wouldn't say they hate their jobs. I think they're just getting to that point in life there where they're like, I'm ready to slow down. I'm ready to not be on my feet all day. I'm ready to not have to deal with dickheads or. They're just at that part, I think.
No, I get you 100%. Like, I think I see that in my parents as well and family members and that. And it's like, okay, what can I do or start to do now that'll not make me like that at that age? Like for me, that's something that makes me happy.
Put a fucking rope around your neck to jump.
No, I was going to say bullet in my head, but you know, same thing.
No, punish yourself. Have a guilty wank on the way down.
What, like auto-asphyxiation?
Auto-asphyxiation.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff anymore.
I know all this shit, bro.
You're disgusting. You're a little horny boy. Little horny boy. Sorry for our audio listeners listening to that. I just want to, and then like save enough money as well, like, and not just splurge on like bullshit. Like, I think we're allowed to have we're allowed to have nice things. And that's one thing I don't like about like hustle culture and like even like minimalism. You're allowed to have nice things, but at the same time, people buy shit they don't need. Like, I'm not one of those people who go to Aldi and I search through the middle section and it's like, well, I come to Aldi to have like cheaper groceries, but then go to down the middle aisles and just buy bullshit that I'm never going to use. Like, there's people I know. I actually just had a conversation with somebody today about it. And they're like, oh, I don't go to Aldi anymore. Because that's what I do. I'm like, fuck me, cunt. Like, you're at Aldi for a reason. Maybe that's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, when we do our shop, we walk down every aisle with a list. Sometimes we'll see something and go, oh, yeah, we'll get that. But most of the time, we just go get what we need. Yeah,
and that's all right. Like, you're pretty budgety, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're budgeting because, you know, we don't earn a great deal of money comparatively, and we're not married or anything yet. So my money's still my money and Kiara's money's still Kiara's money. But obviously, like, we help each other out.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we spend, you know, I don't go, no, you can't do that because I put this money in the account. It's like, no, you do what you fucking want. I don't care. That's what the money's in there for.
Yeah,
but we don't.
At the same time, you're not stupid enough to spend it on bullshit.
Yeah, but like, you know, if I'm buying myself something, her use my money. If Kiara's buying herself something, she uses her money. You know.
Yeah, fair.
It's usually just like if we're buying something that collectively is for the house or for whatever reason, you know, it needs to be done. We'll both. It comes out of our joint account, but then if it's just for us, it comes out of our separate account.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I think it's a smart way to do it.
Yeah.
See, for me, I'm on the other end. I'm a single, sad,
Piece of shit.
lonely, depressed piece of shit. No, but I'm a single man, so it's like, and it's not just doubling. It's not just like I'm paying double, but it's just like I need to be more conscious of setting myself up for just me.
Yeah,
you know
true.
what I mean?
Yeah. You've got one income to live off. You don't have. You can't go. Oh fuck! I'm short $20. Can you spot me $20 to your partner, or you know?
And I'm not one of those people who will go. I'm not a 26-year-old man who goes to mum and dad and goes, "Mommy, can I borrow $20?" Like I'm not like that. Like
Well,
that's
good.
weird.
That's good that you're not like that.
Because people are like that.
Yeah, I don't know anyone personally like it, but I'm sure there's probably people I've met who are like it. I've never personally met anyone who does that. Can I have so many? Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, but there's also people like leech off other people.
Yes.
Am I a leech?
I mean, you do eat our food when you come over here and drink our drinks.
You said I can.
Can.
You invited me, and that's the thing. I'm actually very conscious. I try to be as conscious as I can about that. So it's like, oh, if Ben's invited me over for dinner, I probably should, at one point, like I bought you dinner that night, and it's like, but it's no, but at the same time,
that one night.
I just want to say at the same time, it's not even just about that and the money. It's about giving and receiving. Fuck, how do you say this the right way?
Jeez, you take
it's
a lot
about
at receiving.
Do you know what I'm trying to say though? It's it's not about the amount, and it's not about like, oh well, I cooked you dinner the other night. You should buy dinner tonight. It's just about being fair, and I think we have a pretty good understanding.
Yeah, like I've never, I don't think I've ever hit you up for money for food or anything like that before. If we've cooked you dinner,
no.
Like because you come over sometimes and you'll go, oh, I'll get dinner. Like you took us out for dinner one night. You took us to the pub and paid for our meals.
And I paid for pizza.
Yeah, you bought pizza.
And like, you know, it's...
You ate Kiara's dinner that one night, offered to buy her
I was
meal.
told, are you fucking kidding me, cunt? Angry.
Yeah, you would do
Angry
something.
face.
That's cringe as fuck.
Oh, fuck. Did I show you? I think I showed you. Actually, I did at the dinner table the other night. And it was that video of that guy and he was laying down with a girlfriend. She's like, thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
I love baby talk, man.
I could kill myself.
Okay, I have a question, even if this has nothing to do with the episode.
Yeah.
Before we finish off. So there's this girl and she's a celebrity of some sort. And she's got like autism and ADHD and stuff. And she talks like, she sounds like a little girl. And she goes, yay, and all this, like, it's not just that. I'm not trying to, like, stigmatize or anything like that. But it's, like, it's very childlike.
Like, yeah.
And he's got a boyfriend. Do you think that he only dates her because he secretly likes children and that we should check his hard drive?
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Because that's what the comments say. I'm just saying what the comments say, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. Like, what... I know that everyone's like, it's not, but it's on the outside, it's on the inside. It's like, this is getting creepy weird.
I agree.
You know, I'd be going, mate, what the fuck do you watch in the dark?
Oh, I agree.
But that's like the same people who stay with their partners when they come out and they're like, oh, I identify as a baby. And they're like, wear nappies and their partners have to change their pooey, pissy and shitty nappies. And
yeah,
like that's weird. That's like you're having sex with a baby and in them, like in that person's mind, they're a baby and you're having sex with them.
Have you seen like the how to use like frog and frog's pronouns?
Yes. Fuck.
I like how, you know what? People probably clicked on this podcast and gone, oh, they're going to talk about being full-time YouTubers and what they're doing. And now we're talking about like fucking babies, metaphorically.
Have you seen that, that I'll use their preferred pronouns, that guy on TikTok who is a bit of a bigger person, but really like quirky. And she's like, well, anyway. I'm like, oh, fuck.
You just said she.
Oh, sorry. Like I'm gonna fucking kill myself. You are so.
No, yeah, it's like I don't care if you're trans. I don't care if you're gay or bisexual. Cringe is cringe, my friends.
Yeah.
But the cringe isn't coming from the fact that they're being trans. That'd be transphobic. The cringe is coming from the fact that they're being fucking cringe. Even if the content they're talking about is trans, I'm not cringing at the fact they're trans. I'm cringing at their fucking cringy personality. There we go. Clip it for TikTok.
Yeah, I think Tom Segura puts it the best way. He's like, I don't care if you identify as a fucking leaf or a tree, but don't expect me to know it by looking at you. And I think it's a little silly.
What if it's tattooed on their forehead? I'm a leaf.
I'd be like, you're a fucking...
Or leafy is here.
You're a psycho. I don't know. I honestly could not give a fucking rat's ass if you identified as a rat's ass. I'd be like, that's amazing. You're a rat's asshole. That's so cool. Fucking good on you. I'm not going to know that though by looking at you. Unless you physically take on the appearance of a rat's asshole, I'm probably going to assume you're male or female.
I'm going to look at the fucking retention on this video. It's going to be like fucking 80% and then it's going to dip down to like fucking 5 after you said that.
Yeah. I was like, oh man. I'll call you whatever you want to be called, but until I know, until you tell me.
Exactly. Okay. We're ending it there. 100%. Thanks for listening, guys. Join the Patreon, by the way, ennui.plus. Help us actually quit our jobs. This is a clickbait title for those who weren't aware.
Oh, but you did actually quit your job.
I did. But like for not, I have other work, so it's fine.
You don't though.
I do now.
What is it? You haven't told me.
I'm telling you off the podcast.
Why don't you tell me now? Tell you on the podcast. Don't be a pussy.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, so, thanks for listening, guys.
Don't be a pussy. Subscribe. Pussy.
I love you all. I love you all. Okay, I'm a hooker.
Wow.
It's the only work I could find in the area.
Going into the family business, I see.
Thanks for listening to the Ennui Talk podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Winter. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, yeah.